Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to Beauty and Vision. My name is Tammy Ariola, if you don't already know. All right, so listen, let me just give a quick rundown on what Beauty and Vision is all about. All right, so Beauty and Vision is a concept that I created based off of my coaching program or my coaching certification. All right, so while I was going through the coaching process, they were telling us that we had to create our own business. And so I came up with the name Beauty and Vision. I didn't have a full idea of how I wanted it to be. But let me tell you, okay, so since that time, which was 2020, started my awakening journey. Okay, so my awakening journey started then. And pretty much it's because, once the pandemic came, many of us were able to quiet our minds, right? Because it was a bunch of hustle, bustle. All right, so listen. I ended up, going through some phases, right? And still going through them. But now I'm at a much higher level. Before, it was coming up out of that low level energy into my higher self. All right, so Beauty and Vision is all about spiritual wellness coaching. I do yoga. Yes, I am a certified yoga teacher, and I also do comedic yoga, and I am a natural hair provider. Okay, so I do natural hair care, natural hair styling. All right, and I've been doing natural hair for over 16 years. Okay, so let me just tell you, since I've been here in Atlanta, man, listen, the first year was real. Okay, it was very real. I was struggling, y'all. Struggling. Like, that is the first time, no joke, the first time I've ever had to reach out to so many people and ask for help. I was like, yo, wait a minute, what's going on? But let me tell you what's funny about that. Last year, I said, this is going to be my year of asking. And I didn't mean it the way that I said it, but that's how it ended up happening. Okay, when I said that, I meant that, I was going to ask the Most High for, basically for what I need and the things that I, desire in order to elevate me, right? But it ended up being that I needed to ask for money for survival, you know what I'm saying? Just to eat and have gas in my car to be able to get to work. Although several salons and barbershops did not work out for me, I ended up finding a salon finally. And the funny backstory to that even was that, y'all, I had gotten to this point where I was out here and I just broke down crying. I was on the phone with one of my friends and I was like, I don't know what's going on. I'm trying. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And I was like, maybe I shouldn't be doing hair no more. I was like, what's going on? Why is it so hard? And I did. I just broke down crying on the phone with her. And that was my breaking point. And when I decided to just let it all go. But in that, I thought I let it all go, but I didn't. Not yet. What ended up happening was, while I was on the phone with her crying, I ended up getting a text message like, hey, we just opened up a new barbershop. You can come through, when you want to start. And so I was like, oh my gosh, here it goes. I'm about to get it in. And I said, listen, I've been in and out of salons and, all the shops. Do you have consistent flow, consistent clientele? He said, yes, you ain't got to worry about nothing. Your booth rent, you ain't even gonna be thinking about that. Just pay and, he was telling me basically that after, a month or so, they'll give you a chance to build up. Anyways, moving forward, I think I was there for maybe like 5 or 6 weeks. In that 5 or 6 weeks, y'all, no joke, I probably had about 5 or 6 clients. All right, so I was just like, yeah, this ain't it. And so anyways, I'm gonna say in that 6 week is when he was pretty much like, yeah, you're gonna have to start paying booth rent. I said, yeah, I'm gonna have to go ahead and go then, because I wasn't making no money. And not just that, I tried to fit myself in an environment that I knew didn't fit me. Okay, so yeah, I felt a certain kind of way about trying to bring my own clientele there, like if I'm promoting and advertising myself. So anyways, I had to go ahead and move on. Now at this point, that's when I just threw in the towel and said, I'm done. Like, I'm not going to try anymore. Not that I was giving up completely. I just needed to stop trying to make things happen. Okay. And from that, lesson learned, I ended up, I think maybe like 4 days, I just did me, chilled, enjoying nature, taking my daily walks, meditating. And then I ended up, my spirit just like, go on Indeed one more time. I open up my phone, check out Indeed, and I see this job position for a natural hair salon manager. And I said, I could do that. I could definitely do that, right? So I go on there and I apply, send my application in, and I get a call back like the next day. And we ended up scheduling for a virtual interview. Anyways, move forward, did the interview, ended up getting the job, started. This was in February of this year. And I was pretty much doing more front desk work, learning the system, getting familiar with the stylists and the salon and everything. And it felt so awkward just watching all the stylists do hair, and I wasn't doing hair. I was just sitting at the desk watching them, answering the phones and checking out clients and stuff. But check this out, y'all. This is what's funny though, right? Everything happens for its own reason. And you should really be in tune with yourself, know yourself, trust the process. That's definite. Trust the process. And so after a couple months went by, the owner called me and she was like, yeah, I was asking me what I thought about my own performance and everything. And so, I was like, well, considering I think I'm doing pretty well, and I had just recently got tested at the job, like a whole lot was going on. I'm on the phone with her. There was a front person at the front desk. Something else was going on. I'm trying to do something else. Anyways, there was a whole lot going on. Tested my skills, my professional skills, okay? So I was like, and I told her, I said, yeah, that day tested me, and I think I handled it pretty well. But anyways, what ended up happening, y'all, that day, I had to step in and be a stylist because there was some confusion in one of the stylists' her schedule, and she had asked for that Saturday off, but yet her clients weren't moved around. So there was one client that needed a rod set, flexi rod set. So I was like, I'm gonna step in, because the owner was like, why is there more clients than stylists? What's going on? And she was like freaking out, but I'm just like, chill, right? Because I always feel like there's a solution. There's always gonna be a solution to a problem. So I was like, I'll go ahead and do it. Anyways, I did it. Let me tell y'all something. From that time, people were like, oh, I want that. What's that? I want that. Can I get that? So the owner, when she had called me after that, she was like, I was thinking, I don't know if you're ready for the management position. How would you like to be a stylist? I was just like, okay. I mean, because I was getting a little bored with the front desk position, but I did a few things when it came to the managerial responsibilities. But I will say this too: there was really no proper training or no real solid information given for what she was looking for out of the manager. And when I took initiative to step up. It was like getting knocked down. So I was actually okay with becoming a stylist because it was like micromanaging going on and stuff like that. But anyways, y'all, beyond that, I said, okay, I'll be the stylist. And she was like, you can make more money and all that. But at the time, she was also like, I need a micro lock stylist. All right, cool. Now, I said February, right? We're in June, mid-June. I have not done any micro locks. I've just been doing basic, regular natural hair services, some protective styles, hair added in. And I mean, I'm cool with that. I'm absolutely cool. And actually, I've had time to think about it. I don't want to do micro locks. I don't. Because there's a certain type of clientele that I actually want to build, and micro locks isn't a part of it. Okay. So anyways, y'all, moving on. Yes, I have been a stylist in the salon for the past couple months. It's been about a couple months now. And I mean, it's been cool. It's been all right. But let me just tell you, right? So because I have my flow flowing there, I've been, and then I've learned to live under my means, right? And it's working out, definitely working out. So what I've done is I've got my own salon suite. All right. So the salon suite is going to serve as my office space, my yoga space when I'm doing one-on-one yoga sessions, because some of the people are going to be virtual anyways, so it's going to be perfect. And of course, my salon, my hair services. All right. So yeah, coaching, yoga, and hair. I should say it'll probably be more like coaching, hair, and yoga. Yeah, because I definitely got this space so that I can service my coaching clients the way I want to. Two of the things that I needed, because in this space they provided the chair and the station. Okay, so my chair and station, cool. I didn't have a mirror, and I was like, well, while I'm doing my coaching sessions, I do want my clients to be able to write down notes. Okay, so now I got my mirror. I love it. All right, excuse me. And then I got my desk here. It's a fold, it folds down. So yeah, and I can push it up against the wall, and it's perfect. It's like at perfect level. Like the client doesn't have to be like this. They can actually like sit back and be writing their notes as I'm be like, yeah, I want you to write this down. And I can be servicing them doing their hair. Y'all, it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. And yeah, I'm going with it. I'm definitely going with it. So now, right now, the only thing that I am waiting on is what bank I want to use. So I've checked out one bank, and I'm gonna go probably this week, if not this week, then next week, to see about opening an account with them, and then linking that to my scheduling system. So I use Vagaro, and then once that's set in place, I'm good. I am good. But I'm not gonna let that stop me if things don't work out. And I say this, y'all, because the life I've been living, not having an official residence in about almost 3 years, I'm sort of off the grid, you know what I'm saying? And so sometimes when I go apply for things, people be like, you don't exist. Like, where are you at? We don't see. Like, it's almost like, it's not like an official denial, but people can't, they're just like, we don't see any record of you. So I'm like, that's interesting. But anyways, I'm back, getting back into the swing of things. And let me tell y'all something. This is very important. I want y'all to take note of this. While I was out there last year, well, really, it might have been more so like, it was either towards the end of last year or the beginning of this year. But, that time I broke down crying on the phone with my friend Um, I didn't understand it at the time, but I'm gonna tell you something. It wasn't meant for me to get into the salon until the time that I did. It wasn't meant. And I say this because I realized that I had sort of been out of the flow, right? As far as being around a lot of people and stuff like that on a daily basis. So I had to get to a certain point in my awakening, in my elevation, in order for me to get back into the swing of things. Because even though I'm living in the world, I'm not trying to be living, you know what I'm saying? Be in the world, but not of the world. I'm not trying to be of the world. And so, Spirit knew, like, it's not time yet. You have to reach a certain point in your higher self before you can throw yourself back into this matrix. Okay? Because even though I'm not really a part of this matrix, I still have to operate with people who in their mind are in the matrix. Okay? And you know, that takes patience. Lord knows, you all know it takes patience dealing with people who haven't even thought about, haven't even took a step towards their higher self. It does. It takes patience and understanding. You have to learn to observe instead of judge. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at right now. Yeah, y'all. And yeah, it's a flow. I looked at my numbers and I was like, yeah, I'm doing what most would not do. Because you gotta think, I'm a commissioned stylist. Okay. I'm a commissioned stylist and I'm paying salon suite rent. So yeah, it's a lot of my money going out there. But you know what? It's 100% worth it. And I know this because I got the blueprint. That's right, I got the blueprint to peace. All right, y'all, so that's another part of my program. All right, so I have Beauty and Vision. Now that's the one-on-one coaching. I also do coaching with yoga. So you can say, I would like to do my coaching session. So I would split it up, half coaching, half yoga, tying it all together. And then I also do, of course, the hair service. It has to be in person. The basic coaching and the yoga can be done virtually. What else is it? Oh, Blueprint to Peace. Blueprint to Peace is my program I put together to help those awaken and understand what's going on in this journey. And also, it's all about healing and just getting yourself to a point where you can, say like, no fear. That's what it is. Release the fear and invite peace. That's what it's really all about. And release that hurt too, because y'all need to check y'all's hurt status, okay? That hurt status be real. I'm getting messages coming through right now. I gotta figure out how to, prevent my messages from coming through while I'm doing my videos. But anyways, y'all, I just wanted to come on here and leave this message because I just found it necessary. And I want y'all to know and understand what I'm really all about. So I'll be coming through with more messages from my desk, from my salon suite, and I'll show y'all, once I get some more things put up on the wall, more things in here. Because right now I just got my yoga mat on the floor, couple boxes on the floor, they'll be out of here soon. But yeah, it's all about growth, y'all. All about growth. Trying to think, what else is there? Anything else I wanted to talk to you about? No, I think that's about it. So Beauty and Vision is officially in the physical space, and I'm ready to coach. All right, so let's heal, prevent hurt, awaken, and motivate. And you'll also still be seeing my videos on the trail because I love the outside. I love being in nature. I love the animals. Yes, the weather is beautiful, in the mornings when it hadn't gotten blazing hot yet. But yeah, that's it. So once again, y'all, I'm Tammy Ariola, and I am your spiritual wellness coach, yoga teacher, and natural hair expert. All right, I will be back for another message. All right, love y'all. A tap.